Hey everybody, welcome, welcome. My name is Riley J. Saronin. My pronouns are he, him, his, and welcome to Evening Vibes. I'm so happy that you could join us today. Um, Let me know how your week is going. I always like to start the show seeing how everyone's doing. Feel free to put in the comments how you are, whether good or bad. If you want to elaborate on why you feel good or why you feel bad, go for it. I know for me personally, the last few weeks have been a roller coaster of emotions. But I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad to be with you all. I'm super excited for our guest today. We have a lot of fun things we're going to talk about. So I'm really excited for that. I've learned in the last just 2 weeks to just kind of go with the flow. You just kind of go with what life is giving you. And yeah, you know, you can't you can't predict what's going to happen. You can't predict how you're going to handle it or how others are going to handle it, and you kind of just kind of rock and roll with it, and you stay as positive as you can about it, and you know, you just keep moving forward. And I've become a lot more grateful for the little things in my life and the little things I can control. And yeah, so I hope that you're able to find that today while watching the show as well. A couple exciting things have happened. The first super duper exciting thing happened today. We figured out our internet issue. What? If you're new to the show and don't know what I'm talking about, previous shows I've had some internet issues. Sometimes my stream decides to like totally just cut off and we lose the entire show, and I'm like streaming from my phone trying to get the internet to work, and you get to watch me do that. Um, but we figured out what was going on. We called Comcast. We said, "Hey, what's up?" And apparently our router was like super out of date. So they gave us a new router, and we also boosted our internet speed at like a discount, and it's just an amazing day. So I'm super grateful for that. Again, being thankful for the little things and the things that I can control, and I'm super excited that it's happening for us. So Nick said with me, yes, it was Nick's episode specifically where I was like trying to figure out what was going on. Um, I just want to say hi, see who's joining us. Of course, we have our usual crew. We have Wendy, M, Shiloh slash Nick, Julie. Hi, everybody. I hope you all are doing amazing. Of course, my boo is watching. Jaden is the reason that we found out what was wrong because I am not a stern person. I am not like tell me what's wrong and help me fix it. I'm like, oh, that's what's wrong. Okay, bye. Um, so Jaden had to call Comcast for me. So um, let's see. Hi, Jenna. Hello to everyone else who's watching. If I missed you, hi. I hope you're all doing well. Please share our feed, share our link, tell your friends. This is going to be a really fun show. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say before we got started was that we as Boylesque are looking at some new technology. So we're looking, since we're going to be in quarantine for a while. We're looking to up our game with our live streams, looking to give you guys quality shows and kind of keep raising the bar for you so that you can keep donating and have a reason to continue to watch us. So we decided with my Wednesday night show, if anyone feels that they would like to give to our cause and help us with these new technical aspects that we're going to be investing in, please donate if you feel obligated to, and if you just like the show, like if you're just like, wow, Evening Vibes is my jam. This is the shit. And I want to give Riley some money. You can do that too. And it'll go towards our tech for this show as well as our drag shows that we host on the weekends. Um, if you need that information, you can find that right here. I have Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal under Austin Moan. Oh, that's over here. Austin Moan, which is my drag persona name or my DJ name, depending on what you're watching. So we appreciate it. We appreciate you. So I'm going to stop talking now and welcome in. We have a very special guest today. We always have a special guest. I think they're all amazing. I don't even have a favorite yet. I won't have a favorite. That was a bad choice of words. We're not going to talk about other people that have bad choices of words this week. uh, so anyway, I'm going to welcome in our guest. I'm going to start his intro off with a trailer for the big project that he is working on. I haven't watched it yet because I wanted to see it with you guys for the very first time. So I'm super duper excited to see this. What I've heard about his project is super amazing. So I'm super duper excited. Um, but yeah, so without further ado, here is our trailer for our special guest.
Welcome, folks, as we journey from the page to the stage for Stonewall the Musical. Like many of you at this time, I am here in my home, making the most of my time, and here to tell you about Stonewall the Musical. If you liked Hamilton, Sondheim's Assassins, and Fun Home, then you will be interested in Stonewall the Musical. It tells a story of a little gay bar in New York City, in Greenwich Village, who no one cared about. And police thought they were going to take a raid on this handsy little place and had not accounted for the fierce drag queens that would fight back against injustice, uniting the LGBT community across the world in a fight for equality, one that we continue today. If you want to see this musical theater piece makes a musical theater of its own with its unapologetically queer casting and racially accurate as well, then join us. Follow us on Facebook at Find the Courage on our Facebook page, or donate money if you can. Our Patreon is patreon.com/StonewallTheMusical. That way, you will help bring this to life. You will be part of our history. Thank you for your support.
Everyone, welcome our special guest of the
Hey.
week, Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hey.
I'm so glad that you're able to join us on the show.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, you've been watching since I did my first few episodes of Bottoms Up. So I'm glad that you've stayed with the journey and now you get to be on the show.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty awesome.
So,
So, yeah.
Kevin, would you like to say a few things about yourself?
Yeah, well, my name is Kevin Skye Werner, and I have been working on Stonewall the Musical for probably about, oh geez, like over 20 years now. So it's kind of a thing, and I'm making strides at it, and I'm hoping that at some point soon it will be premiering at Eastern.
Nice. That's amazing. 20 years?
Started about when Rent did, so it's
Okay.
the little bit of a timeline there.
Okay. Was Rent then like your inspiration to get started or
It was the first time that I saw people who looked and felt and had my experiences for the first time on a stage that people listened to and were buying tickets, and this won how many awards and Tonys, and it won the Pulitzer.
yeah, that's amazing. I love that. So have you kind of with that, have you been using that as your inspiration for how you write things, or do you take stuff from different musicals?
That's kind of where I think I laid the benchmark for Stonewall, because it made history of its own. It was the first time that you had not just the, straight white, cisgendered gay man who's the best friend. You had a Jewish lesbian who married a black lesbian, and they came together, and it was just this amazing uh, feat of theater that I do realize now as a theater person does have some problems, fully aware of that. But at the time, as a young Jewish lesbian, I identified with Adina Menzel, and then quickly then morphed into more of a mark, I would say.
Yes, I love that. I love that analogy. So, with like your musical, so you've been working on it for 20 years. Is it just you working on it?
No, it actually. So I am the writer of the lyrics and dialogue I've written the book.
Hmm.
Um, but I also have had help along the way with scoring. Uh, and the person who I have working on it right now, the composer is Arthur Durkee, and I got connected with him in Out Loud Chorus. So amazing people there, and my right hand man right now, the guy who is my business partner, my best friend, like is Chris Anderson. I knew him from, we worked at the Apple Store together, and he got me this shirt. I gave him the script, and he gave me this shirt after we went to the Stratford Festival, and it was a Rocky Horror Picture Show, a Rocky Horror show,
Hmm.
and it said, "Don't dream it, be it." I was thinking of wearing it today, and I ended up not. But anyways, and he was like, I really believe in that musical. I really want to see it come to fruition, and I want to see it live on stage. I can just picture it, like how it's gonna look, how it's gonna feel, how it's gonna sound. Like you have so many things in there that are just amazing, and I want to see it happen.
That's oh, I love that. I I just love that. You were mentioning about shirts. You were saying before the show you use shirts kind of to like to help with communicating things. Is that what you were saying? Do I remember that correctly?
Yeah,
So do you
yeah.
want to talk a little bit what
Um,
you're wearing today?
so I'll stand up a little bit. I realized I was there when it started, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn around, and because it's
Mm-hmm. Staff camping out.
um yeah, and that is where I don't know if it's still going on. I hope something like this is going on today. I was only involved with it just that one time, um, and I had an amazing experience. We took a trip up with Jim Toy, and I
Oh
ended up
wow.
riding with Jim Toy and talking with him, and it was just such an amazing experience. And later, I just recently more interviewed him. I'm trying to get some elderly LGBT folk to be interviewed to talk about, what was it like for them to live before Stonewall. Like, you know, we're kind of getting
Totally.
back to that right now, unfortunately, but but yeah, though, so that's where I started kind of thinking, like forming more of an idea, and then I also have to credit Obama as the first sitting president to mention Stonewall.
Right.
That was the, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much behind Stonewall. There's so much to our history that's still being built, which is crazy. That's I think the craziest part that there's still people are like, "Oh, it's such a great history." And it's like, "No, it's still like we're still in
it's
it."
still going on.
I
Yeah.
mean, for us, for our siblings of color, like if you're not white and straight and cis, like
Yeah.
your history is still like in the making, which I mean, going to school, you don't think about it. You don't think about that. You're like, "Oh, what they taught me is what they taught me."
Yeah.
But there's so much more to it.
Yeah. I was thankful to go to a very progressive school in West Bloomfield, and we had teachers to tell us, like, no, this is how it actually was. Like, you may have learned this version, but this is how it actually went down.
Totally. Yeah, Julie says in the comments, I love to see those interviews. Are you archiving those interviews in any kind of way beyond like for your
Um,
show?
yeah, so there was a thought, and then we actually had another interview that we were about to line up. and then COVID hit, and then she's like, I'm really sorry, I don't feel comfortable. She's not the kind that I think she knows how to use technology, and I also was just, I'll just wait. I want that in person feel, that in person experience. I've waited long enough. I'm sure these people can wait longer.
Hmm.
I can wait longer for quality, like good interview space. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. How many interviews do you have at this point? Do you know? Do you have a number?
well, yeah. So there is only there's three. There's
Hmm.
Jim Toy. There is Michelle Fox Phillips from Affirmations. I don't know if local, and also Ricky Barkoff.
Nice.
So another local, drag
Yeah.
performer. And so I'm looking to get more. So if you, are an elderly LGBT person or know of someone that would like to tell their story, please let me know. I'm able to get a hold of Kevin Werner on Facebook and at Find the Courage on the Facebook page. So yeah.
What other do you have so you got your connection hooked up to Jim Toy. What other kind of connections do you have?
Well, I do have one that is kind of far fetched, but I did when I was a child, I used to act with Kristen Bell.
That's
And
nuts.
yeah, so we were actually we were in Lathrop Village Youth Theater together, and we were in like The Wizard of Oz and Listen to the Children and Hans Christian Andersen and you know all these like musicals that are like made more for kids, obviously. And I was actually just telling a friend of mine that, and he's thinking, I think, more of how Kristen Bell is now, and he's like, oh, did she have a small role? And I was thinking, yes, yes, she did. We all did.
That's nuts. So
Yeah.
you knew her when? You knew
Yes,
her.
from back way before she was anybody knew her, and it wasn't actually until I was watching my professor at Eastern for Movement for the Actor. He had us watch the film Reefer Madness, the movie musical,
Hmm.
and I was just in love, and I was like, "Wow, this is an amazing movie. It's an amazing film. I love the content. I love the subject matter, the music, and it's like Little Shop of Horrors. I mean, it is. It's,
Yeah,
and then Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell. Where does that name sound familiar? Um, I also did go to high school with Brandon T. Jackson,
just
but I
casually.
don't. He's not as famous as Kristen Bell,
Hmm.
um
Still.
but yeah, I have a connection with her in that way, is that I knew her when we were children acting together.
Oh my goodness. And now she's out making money and we're still here. I'm just
Yeah, I mean, we're
kidding.
still here.
So I know that because I've seen little snippets of your songs and your music. Where can people view some preview stuff if they want to see it?
So I have it on my YouTube page at Skye Rainbow Productions,
Hmm.
and there's some of me like singing and stuff, and just kind of more breaking out into just you know in the moment, spur of the moment kind of thing. um and when I am doing doggy drag, which I sent in a video to you folks,
Yes.
um with my little chihuahua, and I am Elle Woods.
Hmm.
And life is so much better. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, there's some of that, and I was just thinking of like what you're saying, and I think one of the songs that I'm like singing a lot from my musical, um, right now to like help sometimes like get me through this like really hard time in our world right now is, especially with what's going on in our politics. It's just Paying no mind, paying no mind. Let the small-minded think they have their way. Then fight the good fight and win the day.
I love that. I love that you can use your art to like help you cope with what's going on and also find meaning in what you're doing. Because sometimes people get so caught up in the like building their art, creating their art, and doing it for others that they don't get to enjoy it. So I'm glad that you're able to use it in that way.
Yeah, I enjoy it as much as I can, because it is ultimately what helps get me up out of bed in the morning and keeps me going throughout the tough times. Is like, you know what? No, I've got too much of a good thing going. I just got married this year, like
Hmm.
life is good for me. For me, I'm very blessed. I can say that life has been very good for me recently. Um, so yeah, I know a lot of people can't, so I'm privileged to say that.
Yeah. We're going to come back to other things that you're working on, but I want to catch
Yeah.
on something that you just said. You got married this year.
Yes.
I think that's something we should talk about real quick, if that's okay with you, because
Absolutely, yeah.
I love love. Especially when it's part of my queer sibling community. It makes me even more happy. So let's talk a little bit
Yes,
about that
girl.
experience of like some quarantine wedding. How was that for you? Was it, I mean, had you originally planned to have an in-person wedding before quarantine?
Yeah, so I actually my I proposed to my wife at Weber's, and I sang a cappella the marriage proposal song from Falsettos.
Yes, falsettos.
And then I was like, okay, so what's gonna happen next? When did you want to set the wedding? Okay, totally fine. She's like, 8/8, and it was like one of our like 6 month anniversaries or whatever. We realized like this is it. This is for real. This is
Hmm.
And it was like 8/8 double infinity. That gives us plenty of time to plan. Nothing can go wrong. There's plenty of time. I, it's gonna go smooth. So much time to plan. So
Yep.
we get everything, all of our ducks in a row. We like, dun, 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 dun. Cool, I got that. Check, check. We were doing the knot and everything. And then as things were going along, I was like, I don't see this ending anytime soon. Thankfully, the Unitarian Universalist Church or Congregation of Ann Arbor, um, wonderful, amazing congregation, beautiful people. I love them dearly. They thankfully gave us our money back from what normally would be, non-refundable. But considering the circumstances, it's not like we really had a choice. So I was grateful for that. We saved actually a boatload of money since,
Wow.
especially we can't go anywhere.
Right.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, we had it at a park for like physically there. There were some
Hmm.
people that we kind of just to really, really, really close friends and just family only that lived more close to the area. Fine, come. But I was discouraging everyone from traveling. I, did almost yell at my aunt like, "No, stay in Washington. Stay, stay." You
Aw.
know.
Yeah.
But and then we zoomed a lot of other people, including, her and my friend, my best friend, my brother from another mother, Nick. I don't know if you're watching, buddy, but and we zoomed him in to be like, giving his, toast to me and Holly, and so it that went, well, yeah, other than the few minor kind of snafus, there was a rom-com moment in there where we lost the rings. Um,
Oh no. Was it both rings or just
no,
one?
this is a serious rom-com. They were sitting, here's us, here's the table up above the hill. That's where they were.
Oh my goodness.
So we didn't really lose them. We just momentarily.
I feel like that's very fitting. I mean, for just knowing what I know about you and your personality, I just feel like that's very fitting for your wedding to have a rom-com moment of like, oh no.
It broke any tension that was there. Like,
Oh, that's good. I'm really glad. I'm glad that it went well. I'm glad that you decided to still go through with it and that you were able to make the most of it. Did you
yeah.
I should know the answer. To you it
Okay.
probably sounds like I'm asking because I don't, and I'm asking because I am just trying to be like that person, but like I really don't know because I wasn't there. I just know that we had
Okay.
a small involvement. But did you have like a full on reception?
Yes, so actually, sorry I did not get back to this, but yes, let's get back to this. Boylesque did perform at our wedding. There was a little snafu with the technology and timing, but
It
we did watch your
happens.
show. Yeah, that's why I was nervous about that. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like,
But
no, I'm not trying to be like give Boy less credit. It was like I don't even know what happened. I was like, we did something. Did you get to watch it? Like I don't know.
no, no, I know what you're saying. It was just funny. Like I just, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to watch it, and then did you have like a full reception with that, or are you planning to do that like at a later
Yeah, no,
date?
we had a full reception. Like we had catering by Vegorama, which was
Nice.
amazing.
I
With
love
like butter
them.
chicken and yeah, that was amazing.
Yes.
Like and
Yeah,
mango lassi, and I was in heaven. Like it was my wedding. It was our wedding. It was amazing.
I love that. I'm glad you could still have it be everything that you needed it to be. That's
Yeah.
perfect. And you got to save money on top of it. So,
It was really like a win-win. Like I just,
yeah. Are you holding out on a honeymoon or are you just like, we love each other, we're good. Let's just keep going.
We did actually. We had a mini moon the night of, and
Nice.
so Holly got us like this like nice hotel room, and it had a hot tub inside of the room. And we're
Yes.
like, they're gonna have a pool, right? They're gonna have a like, I remembered. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, they're gonna have a pool. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be nice. Well, I get so excited. I pack my swimsuit, thinking she's already packed her swimsuit.
Oh no.
We get there and I completely forgot COVID.
Oh,
No, no pool is open.
right. Oh my
Like
gosh.
I totally did not think when I was packing my suitcase of is the pool going to be open? I just
That wouldn't cross
assumed
my mind either. Yeah.
like I got kicked out of a restaurant today because of COVID.
You got kicked out.
Like,
What'd you do? You
well,
can't leave
no,
me
no, I
hanging
didn't
on
do
that.
anything wrong. Like I'm not like but just because of the situation, I went to get my oil changed, and
Hmm.
it's the one at Midas on E-course, and so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go, maybe have breakfast at the Bomber like I usually do, you know.
Yeah.
Walk over to the Bomber, and really all excited for my Captain Crunch French toast,
Hmm.
and then it's not open. And then I'm like, okay,
Oh,
there's a Coney Island. I'm just gonna get like, pancakes
yeah.
and sit there and wait until the oil is changed and they can like, like I would normally.
Yeah.
I was listening to the audiobook of Notorious RBG, getting another idea for another musical. Um,
As you should.
Notorious RBG the musical.
Yes.
Um,
Oh,
and listening to the audiobook and drawing inspiration and going, they come over to me and goes, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to leave. We can't just let you sit here. People are waiting. We have tables blocked off. And I'm like, no, no, no. I get it. I get it. It's COVID.
oh,
I completely forgot. I was
yeah.
stuck in
You
the
just can't.
moment, and I am sorry.
can't just hang and chill anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I wore
Oh,
my
it's
mask
rough.
in and everything, so it wasn't like it was a complete state of fog. But in
Yeah.
that moment, I forgot the time of what we were living in.
Yeah, I know I mean, I think that's just human nature. I mean, there's been a few times that I'm about to step foot into a store and I don't have a mask on. Everyone else does around
Yeah.
me. Like, it's not like I don't visually see it happening, but it just doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
you're in such a state of autopilot that it's like, oh, I
Right.
go
Like
do
this
this
is
and I
how
do,
it's supposed to be. Like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So. Yeah, it's definitely COVID has changed the rules for a lot of things that
Yeah,
we're still
absolutely.
getting used to, which is rough. One of our viewers, M goes to Celine, and they just had a reported handful of cases at Celine, and it's just like
Oh man.
I can't even imagine. I'm excited. She's small plug. Next week she's going to be on the show. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to make her talk about it because I'm interested in what it's like to be a high schooler during COVID.
Okay, yeah, totally. That's definitely a unique perspective to have, I mean,
Yeah.
we can't think of anything in our generations that were like this.
No, I mean, I know at
Like,
one point there was like the swine flu, and
right.
the biggest that got was I was in middle school and my friend went to on a vacation to Mexico for spring break, and we made fun
Mm-hmm.
of her, which wasn't appropriate. I'm not saying I
Right.
was a great child for doing this, but we made fun
We
of
all
her
are
and was
dumb little kids at times.
yeah, and I was like, "You're gonna get swine flu," and then she came back and she was sick, and
Oh man.
she didn't have swine flu. She had like a cold, but I was like,
Right, right. I mean, that's what I expected her to have.
I was like, oh no, I ruined it.
Yeah.
But so, going back to the things oh my goodness, your puppy's in the background.
Oh yeah, there's Peony.
Hi, Peony. I have a
Little
peony
Princess
tattoo on my
Peony.
leg. It's not of your dog, though.
I was just saying. I'd be surprised if it was Peony.
I just have your dog just like tattooed on my leg. It's a big tattoo too, so that would be like impressive.
Oh wow. Like I knew someday I was gonna meet a guy who had a chihuahua just like this, so I wanted to prepare for that moment with this
I
tattoo.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Um, oh my goodness, dogs. Your other project that you're working on that you said came out of you were telling me before the show that came out of working on your
Yeah, yeah.
musical. So what's going on with that?
So mainly because I actually rewrote like a lot of Stonewall. I changed the timeline from 2016 to now, and in the process, I was like, there also needs to be something else besides Stonewall, because
Hmm.
Stonewall is great, but it's not gonna help me reach anything if it's just one thing. I need to branch out.
Yeah.
And so part of what I thought of was Stonewall is a historical musical. Okay. What other historical musicals are out there? And what are other musicals that maybe you don't think of having a historical place, but they might teach you something about the times from which they came from? So
Hmm.
that's kind of how the origin of Talking Musical History podcast started.
That's
And that is a
awesome.
podcast that I started with Chris Anderson. And we start off in 1776, the musical, and we have one episode up on, no, two episodes up on Spotify. And the other one that we did was little shop of horrors, watch out.
Yes,
Little shop of terrors, watch out. Oh, 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 no.
that's
Like, I
awesome.
just, so that's our second one that's the one that we're really proud of. And not that we're not proud of 1776, but I feel like our podcast about 1776 was equal to 1776 in a way. So,
Fair
Um,
enough.
I'll put it that way. Like it's
And if you're a viewer who hasn't seen that, we won't spoil it for you. So.
yeah, no. But I'm also like we started this out in Spotify. We're just kind of like let's get started, let's get going. But it also in researching the musical podcast, and I go like, what other musicals, what other podcasts are about musicals that are out there? So I looked at the podcast and I found musicals taught me everything I know, and it's an Australian-based podcast with Zion C. Webber. And I apologize if that was terrible. I am just,
You did better than
I
I
thought,
would
yeah,
have.
yeah. um, and I ended up connecting with him over emails and was like, hey, I'm actually working on a musical,
Oh,
and because
wow.
I've listened to a number of the podcasts, they have different episodes, and it's one you can pay extra money and hear them talk about Cats 2019. So
I don't know if I would pay
I
extra.
did that because I'm a super fan, and then like we started talking back and forth, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I really want you to be part of that's not canon productions. It just puts it on and hosts it, and also be on the show and talk about a musical of your choice." So I looked through their catalog and I was like, what, I'm gonna want to be talking about a queer musical. What queer musical have they not done that I would love to do? um Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Yes. Go a little more centered. There you
And
go. Yes.
yeah. So and that's a duet tattoo that I got with my wife, and she has the other half on the
Uh,
other.
is
So
it the other part of the rainbow as well?
it's the other, yeah. She's the dark, and I'm the light.
I love that. So you have the symbolizing tattoo. Do both of you like enjoy musicals the same, or how does that?
Um, yeah, like we both love musicals. Like we actually both ended up going to see what we did not know was going to be a weird avant-garde Simpsons musical.
What was it?
It was Mr. Burns, a post-apocalyptic play.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
I figured you might have. I am not
As soon
surprised.
as you gave that description of it, I was like, I know what that is. What was that called?
Yes.
Yup, I've seen that.
So like she loved. We went to New York to research Stonewall and have an engagement journey last year in New York, and
Wow.
that is where I know you and I had the pleasure of seeing Beetlejuice before it closed too early.
I know. Oh, my heart. Such a good show.
Yeah, I because I was telling all my friends about it. I'm coming home and I'm going, what, I saw this musical and it's gonna come, it's gonna come, it's gonna come. Like when it comes, you got to see it. It's just an amazing musical. You're gonna love it. I've been waiting 30 plus years to see this.
Hmm.
And yes, that's how long I've been dreaming about a musicalized version of Beetlejuice. So yeah, it was pretty much on point. There was only one thing I would have changed, and that was Otto's role. But that's
That's,
mainly because of representation matters.
yeah, that's a whole, we could do a whole episode on that conversation. Given
But
the
yeah,
time, we won't get into it, but I agree with you full-heartedly. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that actually, so Beetlejuice was Jaden's first New York Broadway show. I got the pleasure of like giving that to her and like that experience. And then of any show, that show was just like, it was perfect for someone who isn't as cultured within the theater world and isn't like, is just
Mhm.
I like to say because of me becoming immersed more into the theater world. It was a great like first show because it's so like, well, one, if you've seen the movie, you can follow it really easily.
Oh yeah,
it's not all singing, so it's like there's that too. It's easy to follow because there's
the
dialogue.
whole being dead thing.
So, and then she was obsessed with it. And I mean, if anyone saw, we did like a music video of her as Beetlejuice. And like,
That
so,
was amazing. That was I was like it fed my my craving, my addiction for Beetlejuice the musical. So it was like perfect. You injected that into my vein and it was awesome.
yeah, it was a lot of fun because it was like, it was almost a non-binary Beetlejuice. Like, she
It
did like the
is.
eyelashes and everything, but it was like boy clothes. There wasn't like a feminine body. Like, it was a lot of fun to help her make.
Well, also too, that was the first playbill that I saw where they had their pronouns in their bills.
I have to go look for my playbill and look at that.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
It was in that, and then also my manager at work gave me the playbill for Jagged Little Pill because it was
Hmm.
also in there like that, like little parentheses of like they, them, that, like he, him, his, she,
Yeah.
and that was awesome. I thought that was brilliant, and I that was part of another reason why I loved it even more. And I actually that was my first Broadway musical I've seen Chicago was my first actually. um, but it was the only time, and now Jaden can say this too, that we saw, and you can say this, and Holly can say this. Original Broadway cast. That was originally Broadway cast. So if you listen to the music that's on Spotify or Apple Music or any other streaming platform, whatever, I don't know if there's more, but that's me into the two. Anyways, if you listen to it, that is who we heard was Carrie
Yeah.
Butler, Alex Brightman, and other people that I'm amazing. I just can't think of it right now. Yeah.
I know. I had to explain to Jane just how cool it was that we got to see that. There's been a couple shows where I've got to see the original Broadway cast, but like for her to be that her first experience with a show, and then that's what it
Oh
is the original
man.
Broadway cast is just everything.
It's a
So
mind blowing experience. Like it really is.
yeah, you get like, I mean, you already get chills when you watch a Broadway show. If you don't, then I kind of judge. But knowing that it's the original Broadway cast that you've been listening to on repeat, preparing to see the show, is like, it's even more just
Yeah.
like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was one of my probably one of my favorite like musical theater experiences, like going to see something. Like they
Hmm.
really stepped up their game in terms of what I imagined, because there's sometimes what I imagine and then what I see are
Yeah.
here, and then sometimes what I imagine and what I see are like reverse. Like they
Yes.
don't match up. Like I am very critical. Like Aladdin, we went to go see it, and the guy who played Aladdin could not sing.
Ouch.
Like for Proud of Your Boy, I'm like, I wish I could just run up on stage and sing that for you. I'm sorry.
Be like, I'll do like a singing
Like,
in the rain moment and go hide behind the curtain if I could just sing this correctly for you.
yeah, exactly. That's it's so good. Yeah. Oh
Oh,
man.
ouch. That's the worst. I think when the show doesn't even come close to your expectation, you're like, wow, how that's so
It's a
disappointing.
letdown.
Yeah. I know that happened for my mom and dad the last time they were in New York. They found themselves at a matinee that they just had time for a matinee, but they hadn't prepared for one. So
Yeah.
they were like, let's go see what has tickets. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was what had tickets. Um,
Oh god.
that had a very short-lived run. And they went
Yeah.
to go see
That's
it,
why
and they
I
were
was seeing where that was gonna go, and I was like, yeah.
yeah, they went to go see it because I mean, at the time, the Willy Wonka was Christian Borle, so they were like, "Oh, well, at least we get to see him," because we had already, as a family, we had already seen him. He's one of my favorite Broadway actors, and so they were like, "Well, we know that we like him, so let's go see that." And of
Mm-hmm.
course, it was the understudies day, and there was they were like, "This
Oh
was
man.
such a disappointment." So It's
Oh,
so rough when you pay that money to go see something that doesn't even meet your expectations. At least with community
right.
theater, it's like, okay, I spent a maximum of like 20 bucks to see this.
Right.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these people didn't go to school specifically to do this work and years of training for this yeah, I totally get that. Yeah.
My mom put a crying emoji in the comments. I re-traumatized her.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Julie said all the ones I've seen have been on the serious side. Les Mis, Miss Saigon, Phantom. I mean, those aren't bad ones to see.
Oh no, I love. I was actually just thinking of Les Mis and Miss Saigon more recently. More so, Miss Saigon. I was just thinking of the problematic engineer. Like this is the role that it's an older musical, so I loved it. It was I came of age at the right time. Like Leah Salona was who was the Disney princess and like Mulan and
Hmm.
Jasmine, singing voice and amazing, wonderful person. Like I mean, I've never met her personally, but she's amazing. Like I would love to sing with her one day, only if it's in my dreams.
Totally.
And I love that show, but there is a character who is played by Jonathan Pryce.
Hmm.
And if you don't know who Jonathan Pryce is, he is a very, very, very white man. He's a
Hmm.
very white man. Nothing against him, he's a brilliant actor, but he is a white man.
Hmm.
But in Miss Saigon, he is painted to look Vietnamese.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah.
Ugh.
And he sings like, "What's that I smell in the air? The American dream." Like, and he has this really amazing song that like
Yeah.
it gets caught in my head, and I still sing it all this to this day. But he was in brownface, and I'm just like, eek. I
Yeah.
I wonder what he thinks of that now. Like, I wonder if he looks back on that and goes, you know, that was a different time, and I didn't know any better,
Yeah.
or like that was the way the role was written, I just had to do it, or whether he doesn't have any opinion and he's never thought about it since. I, would be interested to if I ever get a hold of him to ask him that question, I guess, But he was
My
on
fr-
Game of Thrones, he was in GoldenEye, like
yeah.
he's a major, major actor. So
My friend Jenna
yeah,
said
and then
he also got a Tony.
oh yeah, no, he's brilliant. Yeah, no, I'm not bad mouthing him in any way.
No, she was saying like for doing that portrayal, he got a Tony, which is also kind of like, ooh,
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
yeah, that's rough. I mean, it's. I just looked at the time. I was gonna be like, it's also like what's going on with Harry Potter and everyone else, and then I was like, wow, I don't have time to talk about that.
no, I did hear something that was like, "Can you die and still have Harry Potter books come out?" I don't know. I forgot where I heard this, but I was just like, "Oh, that's really like I think where we are at."
Yeah. Oh, that's just a mess. And then this week's debate was a mess. Everything's a mess. Just be nice to people. Register to vote.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I've been trying to dig myself into my work and ignore everything. I have to sometimes put blinders on because
Yeah,
it's sometimes it is just too much.
totally.
And I don't think I've ever said this. It's never been too much before. Um, but I think I look back and I think of the Devil's Arithmetic, and I think that we are like it is a story about a little girl who got transported back in time to 1930s, and she's Jewish, and so she went through the Holocaust. And I just think of that like how we're kind of slipping back into
Yeah.
that mindset again, and I am as a country, not me personally, but um it's hard for a lot of people, but I know we're gonna get through
Totally,
this. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this together, and just love, love, love is all we need.
totally. I love that. Thank you. That was a beautiful note to end on, Kevin.
Yeah.
That was great. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we close out the evening?
No, just check out my social media at Find the Courage on Facebook or the Sky Rainbow Productions on YouTube. So check
Yeah,
out some of my videos that I have up there.
yeah. If
And
you
check out
wanna,
soon for Talking Musical History Podcast. It's on Spotify now, and it will be soon up on other platforms like Apple Podcasts.
awesome. If you wanna, when we log you off here, Kevin, if you wanna add those to the comments in the chat, any of that information, so people can find it, you're more than welcome to. 'Cause I'm sure people would love to check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. I
Yeah,
love
me
talking about
too. This
musical
was great.
theater, so this was perfect. It was a perfect way to end my day. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Yeah, well, you have a great day, okay, Kevin?
You too. All right. Bye.
All right, y'all. A little ray of sunshine. He was amazing. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. It was a lot of fun for me. I hope it was for you. I could talk about Beetlejuice for the next 5 days and make 5 different episodes about everything that I liked about that show. So I definitely check out the music and any clips you can find on YouTube. Beetlejuice the musical, because that was phenomenal show. Also, I heard a lot of people say, no, don't talk about the debate. Listen, it happened. Okay, you can't pretend it didn't happen. My only thing else I'm gonna say about it is whether you watched it or not, vote. Preferably vote blue, but vote, please. Um, I just, uh, there's so many words I could say. That was a day. We're gonna go with something more happier. All right. So, ooh, that did not do the thing I wanted it to do. Hold on. There we go. All right. So this Friday we have our virtual drag bingo. Yes, I know. I talked about it last week. It got bumped to this week because of low ticket sales. We're not going to move it again because of time and other plans shows that we have planned. Please check out next Friday's show, or this Friday's show, sorry. The ticket link is in the comments. I have pinned it at the top of the comment thread. So please, please, please get your tickets. Drag Bingo is a lot of fun. If you've never played before, um, all you need is access to Zoom. So what we do is we have regular bingo, the way you play bingo, but it's drag. So there's performances, there's comedy, there's stories that we tell. It's a lot of fun. And also, we're celebrating my birthday. My birthday was last week, so we're gonna be doing that as well. So definitely come check it out. It is a boatload of fun. We once again don't have our learning with drag queens this week. They will be back on, I believe it was the 17th, is when they're going to be back up and doing their weekly show. And I'm super excited for that to come back because I love those shows. Also, check out what happens on Mondays. We have our Kiki Quickie with Maxie Chanel and Inebriated. That is on Boylston, Michigan. It's only 10 minutes long. It's really a quickie. So you got to make sure you check it out. It's a funny show. It's hilarious. It's what I had dreamed Bottoms Up would be. Like they nailed it on the head with the drag and the comedy, and it's a good time. It's not family friendly. Don't bring your kids, but definitely check it out. That's at 8 p.m. Monday nights Eastern Standard Time. Next, well, next Wednesday, I have the amazing M Tao joining me, and I'm super excited. We're gonna be talking about all the things. I think I know she has some stuff planned. I know at one point, ooh, the dogs are like running around. At one point, we talked about we're gonna talk about maybe some mental health, taking care of yourself. We're gonna talk about what it's like to be a senior during COVID because I am ready. I want to know all the details about what it's like. I mean, I know it's stressful and overwhelming, but I want to know all the details. Doing like hybrid and that's something that I've never had to do. So I'm excited for that. Let's see what else. I guess that's it. Please vote. I believe you can still register to vote. If you did vote by mail, your ballot should be to you by now. If not, they'll be to you in the next couple of days. Walk your ballot if you're able to the post or to the you know where they go. Words are escaping me. Walk your ballot in if you're able. If not, mail it back. But Trump is weird. Okay, so I love you all. I hope you have an amazing week. Please take some time for you as we are living in a very stressful world right now. Take some time for you. Do one good thing for yourself. Today's show brought me so much life. I was having a rough day, and I'm just very thankful that today happened and that you all could join us. It was a lot of fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. Take care of yourself. I'm always here if anyone ever needs to talk. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of acceptance, and you're amazing. Bye, guys.